Do you have it?
Recording. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Knitting Place podcast. Good morning, Pam.
How are you?
I'm doing okay. This is podcast number 39. This is a knitting and crocheting podcast. I am Dina. You can find me at the Knitting Place on Instagram, Ravelry, and Facebook. And you are?
I am Pam Sapp on Ravelry and Instagram, and Pam Sapienza on Facebook.
All righty. Well, here we are. It's been a week.
I think it's our shortest time, Dina.
Record time.
A week. Well, why is it though? Why are we back again today?
Because I've taken, I have a condition,
I think we all suffer from the same one, Dina.
I have major castonitis like I've never had before.
Yeah.
Never.
It's like summer fever, right? Castonitis.
Spring, summer, I don't know what's going on, but I just feel like I need to get my claws into everything.
Exactly. So we would just, there's a bunch of things that I think we're going to be casting on, right?
Yes. But before we get started, Pam, do you mind if we just take a moment to acknowledge what's been happening in the news?
Not at all.
You and I, we don't really talk about headlines.
True. Keep it to knitting.
Yeah, we keep it to knitting, and we do want to keep it to knitting, but we do feel that we are socially responsible to just acknowledge what's happened this week. George Floyd, horrific act.
Yeah, I
guess.
Got to
stop.
Mm-hmm. It's really a tragedy, and that what can you say? It's very sad. It's very
heavy
tragic.
heart.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I know it has to stop. Where do you start? There's so many,
I think the first thing you want some justice for him and his family.
Well, thank God at this point they've got, the officer and
at least one of them.
Right, one of them, right. I wish I had words of comfort. I know that change starts in your heart. It's taught in the home.
Correct.
And you spread goodness to everyone that way.
And I think you look to educate yourself as well.
Well, that is education. If you start at home and you start,
it has to continue. It has to continue.
The ground roots, absolutely.
Right.
We need to be aware,
mm-hmm.
and we need to speak up.
Right. And be willing to learn, from others around us, because listen, who am I? There's a lot that I could learn, and there are a lot that I could listen to other people or other whatever.
Right. There's always learning. I mean, we learn every day on many levels, and it's important to keep open communications, stay connected, and stand up for what we believe in. And I know I certainly don't believe in what's been going on.
Correct.
So I just want
not to be silenced.
Right.
Right.
So this is hard. It's a hard subject. We both felt that it was necessary to discuss and mention it.
Right.
It's not that I don't want to harp on it. I think, what were you going to say?
No. It's just something you feel you need to address, and it's not something that we're going to solve right now. But again, if everybody kind of works together and tries to keep themselves educated and open-minded, open to what, that's how things change, hopefully, for the better.
Right. Well, I think if we all listen to each other and we hear what's going on, then it gives us an opportunity to unite as one voice, as opposed to being at opposing, not opposing sides, but
strength in numbers always, right?
Strength in number and unity. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes. And we shouldn't be divided. We should be united. And I think if we just stop, pause, reflect, listen, we have to make a change, and hopefully justice will be done.
Yep.
I don't know. It's heart-wrenching. Yeah.
It is terrible, terrible situation.
I don't even know how to transition into knitting from such a heavy topic. I really don't.
Listen, I'm sure many people share the same sentiments as you, from what you just said now. And, but I'm sure they also want to talk about knitting too.
Okay, I didn't think I was going to cry. All right.
No, I know. It's not, it's very difficult, very hard.
I'm getting a drink.
But Dinah has a lot of, as she's told you, she has Castonitis, and she has to tell you all about it. I think everybody has Castonitis. Don't you agree?
I think so.
Yeah.
If not, it would be a good illness to have. Be a good
Certainly there's not one that there's a cure for,
not
right?
illness, a good symptom. Ooh, okay. What are you wearing, Pam? Why don't we start with that bows?
Well, I had this. I had this last time.
But you had ends in. You can talk about it. Why don't you stand up? Let's see how it fits you. You got a shirt on, you've styled.
I think I have, look, I have an end still.
Oh.
I've woven about 98% of the end. Look at this.
It just doesn't want to go in.
This doesn't want to go in. Anyway, I'm wearing it over a dress today.
Very pretty.
Not that you could see, but I am wearing it over a dress. And
I have to say, your angle today is awesome.
I know everyone was complaining about my my lighting, but I have sunlight coming in right now, but I'm not in the sunlight.
Is it glaring you in the eye?
No, it's not at all.
No, it's like perfect. You're not hazy, clear picture.
No, so we know what was making me hazy was the
probably the backlight.
Right.
Looks really good. All right.
Anyway,
cool.
this is my my shortened version of the Malibu from Wool in the Gang. I didn't
Let's just call it phase 1.
Phase 1, right? Maybe in the fall the sleeves will be added on. We'll see.
Awesome.
But I used a worsted weight cotton from Malabrigo Verano. Was I think 6 of the colors were Verano. The 7th color was for Avalon from Cascade, which was that lighter coral color. And it's fun. It's a great knit. Oh, crochet. Excuse me. It was a crochet, and it went very quickly. It's just like 2 squares. So
did you have trouble seaming it with the stripes?
The shoulders were a breeze. The sides were a little more challenging because I sewed it up. I mean, they were saying that no, they had you sewing it, and I looked at what they said to do. But you know, when you need to match the stripes, and you've got.
Okay, I'm curious. Just because we're talking about matching stripes, did you leave long tails to sew each color in its own, like each stripe in its own color? Or
what the pattern says to do is they tell you to like weave the ends in the crochet as you're doing it. So when you start a color and you have a tail, you can weave it, you know how you carry it behind it. And because it's a looser weave and because it's a worsted weight and the cotton was a little, I wouldn't say it was slippery. It really wasn't. Well, it's not like wool, it looked awful. You could, they would easily pop out. And I said, this is not good. I'd rather although I know I'd have a lot of ends, I'd rather weave them in than do that. So I did not do that. Consequently, I had a ton of ends to put in. So I sewed it together. And
with
then
one color?
Yeah, because it really doesn't make a difference. But I made sure that, I matched up my stripes, which of course is important. Yeah. And then afterwards, I just sat down one night in front of Netflix and I just wove ends in.
You had a weaving party.
I had a weaving party. I got to one point where I said, you know what? I'm going, if I had 2 yellows, I said, I'm doing them together.
Yeah, it's like
at first I was going one, I was doing the 2, and I said, this is too much. It doesn't really make a difference. It's all going into the seam. Right. So, really, I think, let me see. And there are little things I can see with it, it's going to pop through a little bit.
Can we see a side view? Like when you stand up? Or am I putting you on the spot? No, they line up. Yeah. You can't, like a hairy armpit.
Hold on. This one doesn't. I know, right? But this isn't bad. They went in. But except for this one I didn't do, and I didn't do the one.
I think I am with you on that with sewing my crocheted in ends. I feel like I have more management, like I can control it better, more control. As opposed to crocheting it in, I always tend to find that it shows more for some reason, like there's bleeding through to the right side, so I prefer to weave it in with the sewing needle. Especially
with the listen, we've all done that bit, like when we're edging a blanket.
It's so bad.
Your posture, look at my posture, it's awful. When you're like, you're crocheting the edge on something that was knit, it could be knit or crocheted, and like you pick up the ends in your knitting and you get it in there.
Mm-hmm.
So it's less to weave in, and you can hide them. It wasn't like that with this because the nature of the crochet was a little looser, and because the cotton just doesn't go anywhere. It just stays there. It's not like
Right.
it's wool, where the wool would kind of. It's funny. I was just reading something. What was I reading? I'm gonna have to think about it.
I love the colors. They look so pretty. It's such a great palette.
It is a pretty palette, right? Doesn't it look nice?
Yeah.
It does. I feel like I can't wear it out today because I have these ends. I have to
I
address.
think you're gonna have to watch some Netflix and get rid of the rest.
Yeah, I think so. Before I take it out in public, maybe. I don't know.
So,
Anyway, what do you have on, Dina?
I have my rocket tape.
That was not an FO the last time. It was a whip.
No, it was the whip.
There you go.
There it is.
And that's your what? What's it called?
It's called Rocket Tea
Mm-hmm.
by Tanis Lavallee. Tanis Fiber Arts.
Yep.
I'm actually not wearing anything underneath. Is it see-through?
No. I could see a little bit of the cream or the white of your bra, but not. I can't see any skin under your bra.
I think I can get away with it without wearing anything underneath. Well, maybe the back. No, I don't know.
I can't see anything on the back when you turn around.
I had a t-shirt on, like a beige t-shirt on underneath.
Mm-hmm.
But it's actually very warm. It's so breezy like this. I absolutely love it. And I think I have to cast on another one.
What yarn did you use, Dina?
I used Suburban Stitcher.
Nice.
Predictability. I used her soft yarn, and I'll actually show you how much I have left over. This is the Predictability colorway. And for those of you who have been inquiring, yes, there is still some on the website.
Nice.
Predictability sock. And then I used Predictability in the Mohair lace. And for those of you who were inquiring how much I had left over, I kind of feel like I just made it. This is it in the palm of my hand. What's left, I could weigh them.
Did you follow
get an extra stripe
right
out of the mohair, and that's my sock.
Did you make it longer at all? No.
I followed the directions 14 inches from the armhole shaping.
Uh-huh.
What did I want to say? She suggests that you can actually double the mohair for the neckline trim. So the reason why I don't have as much sock yarn is because I chose to do it all in the sock yarn base. So you can see my I-cord edge is actually done in sock, not in the mohair.
I like the sock, yeah.
The mohair would have been fine. People have been asking, is it itchy? Pam, you and I have had this conversation. It's a silky mohair. It's not your grandmother's mohair from back in the day, where many of us, I think, are just traumatized by the rustic feel of mohair. This feels really nice to the touch. I mean, it's like a cloud. I love it. So, yeah, this is what's left. Predictability.
What size did you make, Dana?
So that's the other thing. I made size 41. My gauge was a little bit loose. So my finished bust measurement is actually 42.
It's fine.
Doesn't bother me that much.
Fine. And what,
so
if you went larger than the 41, you would need more yarn.
Yeah, so I used only one skein of each in the Suburban Stitcher. This is her yarn label. I only did one of each, but I think if you were to go, I just lost it. If you were to go to do the next size, I would err on an extra skein, hand-dyed yarn. Right. You don't want to get stuck with a different dye.
Right.
Now, we sold quite a bit of it. Mm-hmm. A lot of people are doing it in one color. They're buying 2 skeins or 3 skeins of a fingering weight if you just want to make it without the stripes. I don't think you could, my stripes are subtle because I went tone on tone.
Correct. Yeah.
A lot of people, if you look at the FOs on Ravelry, they're bolder. Yeah. And they're kind of,
I like the tonal.
I kind of like it too.
We were even talking that I have 2 skeins of fingering that I got from Chelsea when she was at the shop for the yarn crawl.
Color?
I think it's exposed brick. I'm not sure. Just before the shop closed, she was at the store for a trunk show.
Yeah, we had her here for a trunk show.
And I got 2 skeins thinking I would knit up a ranunculus. I did one last year, but I'm thinking I might do that. But not do striping, just do it in solid. Right?
Great idea. Especially since you're fading your V-back.
Correct.
It's nice to have
something different.
This is striped. I'm going to do my V-back in solid.
Well, the thing that's nice about that is just a plain, simple silhouette. for a summer top.
Which?
What you're wearing.
Oh, I love it. I can have this in every color.
That's what I'm saying. Regardless of whether you did mohair and fingering, some people you said were doing slub. Didn't you say that?
Yes. Yes. You could, some people had an aversion to the mohair. So they're doing the texture. I mean, you could see there's a halo. I don't know if you can really see it.
Right. You can. You can tell it's mohair.
So they're using slub, which I have dyed to match, as well as the sock.
Where they're putting the slub where the mohair is, and they're using fingering where the finger is.
Exactly.
They get a little bit of texture.
Exactly.
Good.
But it's, I mean, it comes to a perfect length. I can have this in every color.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's the kind of thing you could use it, you know.
Easy breezy.
Yeah. Yeah, that's lovely. So that's why I think I might do it.
And you know, if you object to the yarn overs, do make one.
Yeah.
The yarn over eyelet here that you object to that.
I like that.
My next version, I might. Oh,
but you even stand up a second. You even have a detail on the side.
Yes. Sorry.
Which I didn't see. I didn't know you had that there. Is that the same thing, a yarn over?
It's a yarn over
and a decrease.
Centered, yep. Kind of follows.
So you basically do like a yarn over, a double decrease, and a yarn over.
Correct.
Nice. Okay, that's pretty.
Yeah,
it's just a detail. It's just a detail.
It's a very pretty detail, well written.
Yep.
Easy to follow instructions. I don't know. I enjoyed it. Like I said, I want to make another one, maybe after my feedback tea.
Yeah. So as I said, as Dina said, as we've mentioned, we have Castonitis. So we're like,
I really don't even know where to start. It's crazy.
Yeah. Well, do you want to do the VBAC? Well, I don't have. Oh, I have a finished object. Are we doing finished objects?
Yeah, we are. We're on now.
Right. I did finish something this week. I finished this. I am not putting it on because it's way too. I finished my Sunday cardigan, and I
crowd cheers.
It took me a week to knit 2 sleeves. Now I will say they are long sleeves. They're a long sleeve with a 4-inch cuff.
I thought for sure you'd have that on today.
Oh yeah. I don't think so.
What's the weather?
I'd have to come to the shop and you'd have to blast the air conditioning for me to have it on. I was telling Dina that was one of the problems with working on it because it was so so woolly on my lap as you're doing the sleeves, you know. But
it's a double fiber. You have the Rauma wool,
correct,
with the alpaca lin.
And I do have it here to show you. Hold on one second. I'm going to show you. There. This is what's left. I had to go into an additional skein of each just to do my last cuff. The Rauma lin and the Rauma, right? What's that called? Rauma?
Rauma, Finull. It's the Finull.
Oh, right.
And then you have the alpaca lin.
I mean, it's fingering, but I think you could knit this up. It's definitely sport.
Right.
And maybe even, I don't know, maybe even.
I was wondering, do you think you could knit minted with that combination?
Oh, I know.
I mean, it's a different texture.
Should I make minted?
That's what I was thinking.
I wonder if I have enough yardage. I might not have enough yardage on the, I have to weigh it and see. I could do minted.
That's what I'm thinking.
That's cute. A cute idea. It's a shame because it's not, again, I just did the 3 3/4 inch cuff with this.
You know, she has that brim. I don't know. Is it a fold up brim on the minted?
I have to look on my phone.
I was going to say, if you don't have enough, you can always just not
make it a little short. No, she doesn't have a fold up.
It's not a fold up.
No.
Yeah. My hair is really getting gray. I don't know if I can hold out.
I don't know.
Let's see.
It doesn't look bad now, your hair, but that's the minted.
It's not a folded, but it's a wide brim, no?
It looks wide. It does look wide. It looks like the brim is more than at least 2 inches.
Probably a 3-inch brim. So if you were to do 2-inch or 2.5, you might get.
You'd have to look at the pattern. Yeah, I might be able to do it. I would weigh my yarn first to try to figure out how much I used of the yardage and see what I have left. But that's what I have left on that. So now I have a sweater ready to put on in the fall, Dina.
You know what that means?
What?
1 FO gives you 2 cast on.
Yes, on 3. Well,
I was being conservative, I guess.
That's all I have. That's all I have that's finished.
That's a lot in 1 week. That's pretty impressive.
Not really. It was mostly done.
That was a briefly.
If we podcast next week, I don't think we'll have it. I don't think I'll have it.
No, listen. It'll be a miracle if we podcast again, but how many FOs can we have? I mean, really.
Well,
I'm gonna
it's
get
not
10
FOs. You might have
listening.
something important to impart. You might have something important to talk about.
We can always talk about knitting. FOs are a different story. Okay, by Tanis. I'm just taking notes.
Yep.
All right. You want to segue into whips? What are you whipping these days?
You want to laugh? I really don't have anything. The only thing I have on my needle is a super simple summer sweater, and it's the same place it was last week from Hohi. I haven't done anything on it.
Well, you've been.
I've been doing that. I've been doing that and focusing on what I'm going to cast on.
Oh, excuse me.
There you go.
Yes. All right. Well, listen, there's something to be said about focusing on one project. You certainly make progress.
I mean, I could dig into my pile of things and pull a few things. I'm not going to go into that. But listen, the thing that's nice, that's good, is that, see, it's a bonus, Dina. I should be able to cast on extra stuff because this was not a new cast on. It was a languishing whip.
Right.
That is now done.
From the woodworks.
So that gives me bonus points.
That is a bonus.
That's why
you said 3.
There you go.
That's why you said 3. Oh, I don't think I turned my phone off.
I just got a mess. I saw it.
Okay. So I guess we're going to go into whips. You're
not, well, you have a whip. You go into your whip.
I have a couple. Yeah.
I have whips.
So I don't have, do you want to pull up Oliveknits?
Sure.
I'm excited to share with you that we are participating in the Oliveknits 4-day knit along. If you follow the Knitting Place on Instagram, you may have recently seen some kits that I put up. One of the first options I showcased was Erin Moore Light, a Donegal tweed. She calls for a DK weight. And Pam jumped on the bandwagon and went right for Erin Moore.
Yes,
I on the other hand, was thinking about using yarn from 7th Floor Yarns.
Now, this is not a secret because now people know what it looks like.
Yeah.
She's got it on Ravelry, am I right? I don't want to post anything. Hold on, my daughter's
show it. It's Soundtrack is the name of the sweater.
Here it is. Let me just get a good,
much better.
There you go. You see
it?
Yep. And she used a
super cute sweater.
It is cute. She used a rustic yarn.
She used Scout from Kelborn Woolens, which is a yarn that we certainly can order if any of you are interested in. We also have wool stock, which is similar, but my colors are dwindling on that. But as I mentioned, I started mine. I'm hoping to have the same thing before the knit along starts.
Nice.
This year is done. I want to see if you could see the tweed. Pam, is it coming up because I'm covering
a bit. It's coming up a bit. Not crazy, but you know, once you get into the body, you'll definitely see more of it.
So this is a tweed fleck, and then I have a solid black yarn. And here's the cake. At least what's left. I went with a purplish color. Do you see the tweeds now? I think that's showing up.
Go sideways, like hold the skein. No, it's not showing up there that much. A little bit. You can see it.
It's very subtle.
Very subtle.
It's not rustic like your tweed, if you show yours. But I do have to show you lots of colors. We were lucky enough to get the samples in. This is DK tweed in navy.
And now you can see it.
Gorgeous colorway. And for example, if you wanted to do the stripe, gray would be beautiful.
Yes, silver
gray. Now you can also use the, if you wanted to keep it all in tweed. I didn't have black tweed, so I went with solid black. You can certainly do that.
Yeah, you can put a solid in it as the...
they're all interchangeable.
The center, sure.
So this is the DK tweed from 7th Floor Yarns, and I will just ramble off some colors so you know what I'm sharing. This one's called Ash. This one is called Jam.
It's pretty.
Very pretty. This one is Buck.
I like that.
Love this colorway. This one is called Blushing.
Blushing, did you say?
Yes.
Does it have a little pink in it?
It's a very, very pale pink. I'm not sure if it's coming up.
Yes.
Put it back here next to my top. Get it out of the light. This one here is called, I think it's Lick Me Pink.
That's pretty. That's pretty.
Very pretty.
Put those two colors together.
You can. This one is called Chestnut.
Oh, that's pretty.
Getting a fade here.
Mm-hmm.
Wine Country.
Nice. A lot of choices.
Lots of choices. They kill it with the colors. And I'm happy to support them. They're local to us. Harvest.
That's pretty.
Mother and daughter team.
Mm-hmm. That would be pretty with one of those buck colors that you had, buck or the other one.
Yeah, I mean, obviously here's natural. The options are endless. So in other words,
anything, yeah.
You can do an ivory sweater and put the blue track, or vice versa, have a dark sweater and do a light track. I went for light with the dark track, but I've got customers. I have one customer who just bought the white and she's doing a darker track. So it's all preference, of course. And here we go. These are some more options. This is called Bleeding Hearts and Sage in the tweed.
It's pretty.
This is the colorway I'm doing. It's called Dusty Mauve. Maybe you get a better picture of it in the skin.
Yeah, that's probably a better picture there, yep.
Pretty, right?
Yep. Very nice.
Towards purple lately. Don't know why. And then I'll just show you some yak or superwash merino base. This is Harvest.
So this is a DK base without the tweed.
Right. Espresso.
That's pretty. That's
any of these colors.
Pretty combo right there.
Not gorgeous?
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah. Espresso and Harvest. That's a beauty. We're taking pre-orders. So if you are interested, these are all going to be special order items. This one is Phantom and Yak, the DK.
So now the history of this knit along, I'm going to finish with the colors first.
Oh, you could talk while I just show the colors. How's that? Why don't you explain to them? Amethyst.
Well, this is, I think, her 4th year maybe of doing this.
Yeah. Oh, you missed the phone call. So we had a Zoom call.
Right.
I should just say, being that she had a play on numbers, because it's her 4th knit along, she usually, it started that she would do a sweater in 4 days.
Right.
I think the 2nd year, it was another sweater knit in 4 days.
Correct.
The 3rd year, it was a sweater that you could knit in the number of hours in 4 days. So 4 times 24.
Right.
This year, being that it's the 4th year, she did 4 days, like 4 weeks, 4 times 4. So you have 4 weeks to knit it. So it's an extended time.
Well, the way it started initially was, it was around the July 4th break when everybody is home. And she said, can I knit a sweater
in the
4-day weekend? And that's how that, I mean, Beekeeper was a
I want to make that one. Never did.
I have never done that. Yeah, that's pretty too, Dina.
This one's Sapphire.
Right.
Paired with Topaz too. This one is Onyx. Love this. Classic. Paired with Stone.
Yep.
Even this is gorgeous. Look at this color.
That's
like
nice.
Called Slate, but it's like a lavender hue.
It's pretty.
And this is stunning. Look at this combo. This one is called Copper Penny.
Oh, that's
gorgeous with espresso.
That's pretty. I would be hard pressed to pick a color. I'm always hard pressed to pick.
It's always gonna, yeah.
You know, I can never decide.
I hope I didn't go too quickly. Beautiful colors, lovely yarn. The dye is gorgeous.
And Dina and I missed the first 2 years that she did it, but we did it last year. What was it called last year?
Foxtrot.
Foxtrot, right. We did a Foxtrot last year, which was a cardigan. I think they've all been cardigans. This is the first pullover.
First pullover. And it's a lighter weight, so I think she probably extended the time because it's on a DK. Usually it's on a larger needle.
Right. So I'll show you my colors. Well, my colors, not much of a color, but I went with the Aaron Moore light black.
That's different for you, Pam.
Is my body color. And I think what I'm going to put with it so far is the Versus from Spin Cycle.
Wow. Look at that. That's gorgeous. Wow, that's beautiful.
That's what it is right now, unless I change my mind. Anything can happen, but I doubt it. What do you think?
Now, are you going to start?
I could even do, the Spin Cycle, Pamela, what's it called?
Oh, dyed in the wool.
Dyed in the wool.
If you want a gradient track, you can do that.
You can do that as well. But right now, this is where I am. I mean, the black is definitely staying. Matter of fact, this is the yarn I made my Veronica in, right, Dina?
Yes, beautiful hand to your Veronica.
Yeah.
That was gorgeous. We like that yarn. You always like.
And I've never knit a black sweater.
I know, that's what I'm saying. It's unusual for you to want, to want knit black.
You think it's wrong?
Share with you.
No confidence in myself.
What?
I have no confidence in myself. You think I shouldn't do black?
I think you should. I think it's stunning.
Yeah, I'm excited.
You took the last black option anyway.
There you go.
I mean, you obviously could change your mind.
Well, I did my Veronica in that camel-y color.
This one, which I don't have enough stock for. But
you can do it as an accent.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So what did I just do here? Okay. So this is what I have stock in. The burgundy.
It's a pretty color.
Which would look stunning with black as a track.
Yep. Put the camel in there
too.
Mm.
A little strong.
Yep.
But I also think it looks very pretty with the gray.
And the gray is pretty too. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Then we have stock in gray, which you can do a black track.
That's pretty.
This is pretty, a blue track.
Mm-hmm.
The inverse, a wine track. That's very pretty.
That's pretty too.
Did you see Olga Jazzy's new shawl? You guys, you can do this for Olga Jazzy's new shawl.
I don't think I saw. Oh, wait.
Yeah, Cora shawl. It's got great texture. Oh, I might have to cast this on.
Here she goes. I'm going to look at
that. Was unintentional. Completely unintentional. Olga Jazzy, Cora. See what I'm talking about. This is
I'm
really
looking
good.
it up. How do you spell it? H-U-R-A?
No, Olga Jazzy. Look, if you go to her Instagram, it'll be faster.
Okay.
I have red, and you could pair it with camel, black, gray. And there's something about this that for some reason, I don't know, it's kind of fun. No, Cora. It's gray and yellow.
This is Cora.
Let me see. Oh, yeah, that's someone else's. Find her gray and yellow one.
Oh, I see it. Yeah.
Oh, it's gorgeous. Okay, now pull it up so you guys see what I'm talking about.
Nice. What yarn did she use?
I think she used Mayak. Paula came out with a new yarn. I think it's like a light worsted weight, or is it a DK, something like that. Tibetan yak. Very pretty.
No, she used North Lights fiber.
Who?
Olga Jazzy.
Really?
Yes, it's North Lights. It's DK weight yarn. Yeah, you could use that yarn.
I thought she designed it, or maybe one of the samples.
Dina, that is lovely.
It's stunning. I'm telling you. This might have to go home with me.
Maybe have to be added.
Pam.
Oh,
there's something about this combination.
I know. I do like that yellow with the gray. S&X. Well, that's beautiful. Well, yellow and gray. That kind of yellow and gray goes lovely together.
Beautiful.
Always does. It's funny because you're talking about that. I found
the
another
texture is so fabulous.
What was that?
I love the texture on that shawl.
Well, she's fabulous for doing that, right?
Olga?
Yes.
It's almost like she designs architecture. It's like architecture.
Correct.
Always amazed with her style and the garments that she puts out. I never finished my Hushu shawl. I swear.
And you should finish.
I should not be casting on another one.
That's one of the ones that you need to get done.
I know. Shame on me.
Oh, that's okay. We're all in a similar situation. You're no different than anybody else, right?
Yeah. So anyway, this is a fun knit so far. I'm allowed to participate in the pre-knit because of the shop, and that I'm.
Yeah, well, that's the other thing I was going to talk about. So in other words, the pattern's out on Ravelry. She gives everybody a month to get their yarn.
Now, right, but you have 2 weeks now to buy it on pre-order. So if you go to Ravelry to Marie Green Oliveknits,
Soundtrack.
Name of the pattern is called Soundtrack. It says here, not for distribution,
Soundtrack
but
letter, yep.
Or here.
So they won't get the pattern until the beginning of July.
I think you just get the specs as to what you need to buy, correct?
Right. Until I don't, what is it?
And then the pattern drops in your Ravelry.
Do you know when it's dropping? What date exactly or no?
I have to look it up. I should know that by heart. Hold on. July 1st, the official soundtrack pattern lands to all pattern libraries. July 1.
Gives everyone time to finish up a couple of whips before the soundtrack cast on. Lovely. Very lovely.
It's pretty.
So listen, I have to share talking about shawls, Dina.
What's that?
I found this last night.
Oh, no. After we met.
Well, no, I'm not saying them. I mean,
Lord.
listen, I can only knit so many things at a time. Hold on. I just lost the picture.
All right. I have to write down for whips.
Look at this shawl.
Soundtrack. Oh, beautiful.
Hold on. I'm going to show you a picture that you're going to see this and you're going to say, oh my goodness. Hold on. Let me get this. It came out in May. It came out this month, this project. But
what's the name of it?
It's called NYX. I don't know what that means.
Should I write it down?
Yeah, write it down. NYX.
Designer.
I'll tell you in a second. I have to
hold on.
This picture first.
This is muffled.
That one.
Beautiful.
Isn't that gorgeous? Who's the designer? I'll tell you. Just go back. It's Natasha Hornby. It's Natasja. Hornby.
Natasja.
Yes, Hornby, Hornby.
Okay.
It's a new pattern, and it uses. Now she's the one who said that it's fingering weight yarn. She says it might not be bad to use a rustic yarn for this.
Really?
That's what she said. She said.
So Finull, what you used in your Sunday cardigan would be a good choice.
Correct. Right. If it says, where does she say it? Due to the color work, they'll be relatively short floats on the wrong side of the wrap. These floats can look quite beautiful, but to make sure they will stick to the fabric nicely, she might recommend a non-superwash woolen or wool blend yarn. Oh, am I showing you that? There's no reason to show you
the specs.
Showing you the specs, but it's very pretty. And it uses, believe it or not, you wouldn't know from looking at it, it uses 3 colors.
Subtle.
Yeah, it's very subtle. So really what you see is in that little red or rust, there's a dark color in there. Some people put cream, some, very pretty.
Oh, see that close up. It's funny when you held it up before, they looked like eyelets. It's actually color work.
Yep. Slip stitching. Isn't that pretty?
Mm-hmm.
And different stitches. She uses different, anyway, whatever. I thought that's a lovely shawl.
Very pretty.
But the Finull would be nice for that.
Yes, only because you mentioned rustic finger weight yarn.
Right.
Okay, so moving on. I'm allowed to share pictures on this. I'm doing a test knit. I'm test knitting using Moondrake yarns, which is the same yarn I used for Tracy's Unwind Shawl, which I have right here in case you guys don't remember it.
Yep.
So I used it in this one. Now I've used this yarn before. Now I'm doing a test knit. Ambah O'Brien has designed a shawl using Moondrake's yarn. And
colors, right, Dina?
Pardon?
3 colors.
It's a 3-color shawl. Sorry, I lost some stitches here. I guess I was in the middle of a row. I can give you a little sneak peek. Certainly don't have all of it done. But speaking of color work.
Yeah, it's getting washed out.
Washed out?
Yeah, that's better if you come close. You can see that it's kind of a light lavendery color with like a beige, a sand.
Yes, I'll show you my 3 colors. My balls are getting away from me.
Yeah, there you go. Where's the other one?
Right here. That's my palette.
Now, is the lace, I shouldn't say that.
That's okay. I don't know what it looks like.
Yeah.
Pretty, right?
That is nice.
So I'm in a purple kick.
You're on a purple kick. You are.
I am.
A purple.
The dusty mauve and now this. I don't know what's going on, but I'm gravitating away from pink.
Okay.
I like both. Hi, Rita. Okay, Pam, do you mind holding the fort a second? I have Rita at the door.
Okay. Not a problem.
Okay, so I talked about my
Test knit. Not a problem.
And what else do you want to talk about? How about, why don't you introduce the V-back?
Okay. I don't have the pattern. I have it on my phone. I have it on my phone.
Why don't you pull up the picture on your phone?
Yep. Let me bring it up.
I'll be right back.
Again, like we haven't had enough summer tops. This summer top is lovely. It's called the V-back tee. I'm going to go into my patterns because I already bought the pattern. I already did the gauge. I can show you my gauge. I just need to get it in my patterns. And who the designer is because I'm really not sure. Now, why won't it come up?
Look at how beautiful that is. Is that full day per day?
Here it is. It's called the V-back tee by Jamie Hoffman. Oh. And here's a picture of it.
Awesome. I think I have to snag a picture. Hold on.
Yeah. What I love about it is, I'm going to see if I can find another picture. It has a V in the back. It's rounded in the front. And it can be worn. She doesn't have it in, yeah, here she does. Here's where she has a double picture. You can wear it with the V in the front or the back.
Did you go for the red? I have 3 orders here. I didn't know which one.
Or you can have so the way she designed it was the round front and the V in the back, but it's reversible. It's totally reversible. And she uses, you can use one colorway for the whole thing. She writes it for 3 different colors, 4 different colors, 5 different colors, and she gives you a fade, a recommended fade. But I think because of the way she's not just fading from color 1 to color 2, she puts all 3 colors in the fade, so it really blends more. And I think because of the shaping of the piece, that the fade looks a little bit different. But I decided to do, I was looking on Ravelry, and I decided to do 3 colors. There really is no reason to do 4 or 5 in terms of yardage. And I just thought, gee, why not just do it with 3? I did a swatch, and I'm so excited. It's kind of got a little bit of a loose fit to it. It's not tight. And it looks great. So you all done, Dina?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I was just showing them the pattern, telling them that they could do it solid or with 3, 4, or 5 colors. I said I was doing it with 3 colors. And
this here's the pattern.
Yeah, you've got the paper pattern there, right?
So you see the round neck as well as the V-neck. I believe this is a 5-color fade.
Yeah, that's a 5-color fade. And I was saying that she does fade differently. She doesn't just use 2 colors in the fade, transition from 1 to 2 and 2 to 3. She brings all 3 colors into the fade. So it makes a more seamless join. These are the colors that I am going with. Hold on, I'm just trying to do it.
Okay, you want to show yours and then I'll show mine?
Yeah, I'm doing, this color is from Suburban Stitcher. It's called Hurricane.
Yes.
The second color, I wound it up so it doesn't, it's called, what's it called, Dina?
Asylum Fibers, dyed that one. It's called Everything But the Kitchen Sink.
Everything But the Kitchen Sink. Mm-hmm. It's wound up by hand. And the third color is going to be it's also from Asylum. It's called, I don't know,
Asylum or Suburban?
No, it's Asylum. Route 66.
Oh, right. I forgot. We both, okay.
Route 66. So you see it's got a little bit of that color in it that will go with this. So I think the way I am going to start it, I'm going to start with the darker color, go to this color. This will be in the middle, and it'll end with this color, the darker color at the bottom, is the way it's going to go.
Very pretty.
And this is the Everything But the Kitchen Sink. This is my swatch. It'll give you maybe a better idea of the color.
Gorgeous. Yeah.
No.
Hold still.
I know, right? Hold still. Anyway, so that looks nicer than just the ball wound up by hand, you know?
You know, I'm looking at it, Pam. There's something very flattering about the fade because you see the V in the front. I'm wondering if I'm making a mistake by doing it in one color.
One color is nice. I mean, initially that's how I saw it, was one color, and I thought it was a lovely piece. I think when I was looking at Ravelry, I like, normally you would start light and go dark, but what I saw was it started dark, then it went to a color like this, and this kind of falls in the middle, and then it goes back out again. I don't know. I don't think you're making a mistake going solid. Well, but that's too. I think the colors, they need to be the right colors. Well, that is that
I thought you had My Boyfriend jeans. I'm doing mine in Asylum fibers, and this is the Route 66 that Pam showed you, and I'm thinking of just doing it all in one color.
Right.
Although I didn't wind any yarn yet, so I might do it.
Reserves the right to change your mind up till the very last, whereas I'm already wound on one skein. And of course, I would have started it. I wanted to start it, but of course, I didn't wind the first color. I wound the second color, so I'm popping over.
This color.
Wind for me, Dina.
Route 66. You're coming here so I can wind?
Yes.
My winder's broken. My winder seriously is sick. I need a new winder.
Yeah, the winders are.
I need Tad.
Doing overtime, right?
I need Tad to come and fix it.
No.
Remember at the trunk show, he fixed it for us?
I do. Well, we weren't using it at all that time, right? He just.
Oh, it was horrible, but he just fixed it.
He did.
That's what he's doing.
That he does.
All righty. So we have V-back tee.
Right.
We have tons of colors. I'm not going to bore you with all the selections. You can go look on, we have Asylum fibers, fingering sock yarn. We have Suburban Stitcher, Madeline Tosh. Lots of colors. You can always call and set up a FaceTime. Artful Bell.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be happy to walk you through the inventory or show you colors via FaceTime.
Not a bad idea.
Pardon?
Not a bad idea.
No, it's been working out really well, actually. Yeah. All right. Should we move on?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's go.
So these are, I guess, new, not necessarily acquisitions, but new inspirations.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So we have the V-back. And you want to go ahead? Or should I show them the picture first?
Show them the picture.
All right.
Look at that.
This is called Lavallee. It's Stephen West's latest shawl.
Mm-hmm.
It's 5 skeins in a gradient. However, you can, I think, grade it in 4 colors. You can do it in 1 color. Mm-hmm. You have a lot of flexibility in choosing your size because you're starting from one point, working to the center out. Mm-hmm. And I imagine if you don't want to make it too wide or too long, you can just, call the center whenever you get there.
Right.
Am I right, Pam?
I'm sure you can, yeah, because it's done from one tip to the center and out.
Right.
He said, go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to say, it looked like he started in a light gradient, starting light, moving darker towards the center.
Right.
Being the center and then fading out.
Back out again. That's what he did. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see if there's another picture in here. He
was saying that if you used one color and you didn't use several colors, you might be able to do it with 4, maybe 5. But he had a very nice Instagram TV video on it, about 5 minutes. Stephen, he's always
he's so cute. He's so whimsical. Look at this. I love his facial expressions.
Yeah, I know.
Love it.
And I like the way he styles them. He just wears them so well.
It's a very drapey looking shawl.
It appeals to me because, like he said, it's an easy knit. It's just an easy knit. Nothing crazy going on.
I have to say, I'm quite shocked that you're diving into this one.
Yeah, well, I had to think about 3 times about it because it is a lot of skeins. It's a lot of yarn. But it just seems like so much fun, doesn't it?
It does.
I mean, it's not going to be done in 2 weeks. God knows how long it's going to take me to make it.
I find it interesting that he's got the eyelet. I mean, I don't know if you could see in the picture, but like the eyelet pattern that's going from tip to tip is taking the shape of the shawl. Yeah. Very attractive.
Yeah. Yeah, so I don't know. I saw that and I said, as long as there's no crazy stuff in it, not that I object to any of that, but sometimes you just need, you need a project that's just an easy thing to pick up when you don't feel like maybe doing color work or counting or whatever, or doing a sleeve. right?
He wrote, choose 5 colors and fade them together for this large triangular shawl. The simple design is knit sideways and garter stitch from wingtip to wingtip. Lace columns accentuate the angles with smooth I-cord edgings framing the entire piece. The colors fade to the middle of the shawl and then fade back to the originating color. The elegant design would also look smashing in a solid color.
Mm-hmm.
Very pretty.
Yep, it's very nice.
Yeah.
So Dina put a few combos together.
Yes, I did. You may have seen them on Instagram. Why don't we start with yours first?
Okay.
Or should I show and then they guess what you did?
You
Can show yours first.
Can make a difference.
Yeah.
Just get it out of the way. Hold on. 1, 2, 3. Where's color number 5? Here it is. Hold on. Let me just put them in some order. Okay. I think this is going to be the order. Hold on. This is it.
Let's see. So are you going to fade? Are you starting with the light tip?
I'm going to start with the light, I believe. And then this is where it gets, I have this very pale shade of a pink. Then I have this one.
Pretty.
Like this. Then I have this one. And ending with this one. So this will take me into the center and then it'll go back out. It'll reverse back out. Yeah,
right.
But you know what I'm saying. Right? What do you think, Dina? Do you like that?
I think it's stunning.
Whoop. I just dropped one of my yarns. Hold on. Keep talking.
I'll show you a couple of options that I posted on Instagram.
Yep.
It's hard to hold them all together, but I'll do my best. I may have to use 2 hands.
Yep.
So this is one fade.
That's beautiful. That's
This
pretty.
the one you were considering? It wasn't
That's
even
the one I was considering. Yep.
This one.
Yep.
No, it wasn't, but okay.
Maybe I should do that. You think I should do that or this one, Dina?
No, I like the teal. I don't see you in purple at all.
It's so hot right now. Oof.
And then there's this one. I think half the fun is playing with all the different colors.
That's gorgeous. Oh,
That is stunning.
that's beautiful.
2. Then there's this one. Love this one. This is so me.
Oh, that's pretty.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah, that's lovely.
Love that one.
Lovely.
Okay. Then this is very earthy. I think it went like this. Okay.
Oh, look at that. There you go.
Little flip, little hair flip. Pretty. And then last but not least, this is the one you were thinking of.
Is that the one I was thinking of?
This one. Wasn't that one.
Yes. Yeah, that's the one I was thinking of. That's very pretty.
But I was afraid that one might be too purple for you. This one right here at the Art Show Bell. I could be wrong.
Well, it was between that one and the one I selected.
Yep.
Nothing's definite until you wind it.
There you go. That's right.
Right?
Speaking of my V-back tee.
Like I heard that somewhere before, right?
That's right.
Anyway, I'm excited. It just seems like a fun, easy knit for me, you know? And I think he knits it on a 5 needle.
Lavallee Shawl by Stephen West.
Yep.
You can buy the pattern on Ravelry.
Yep.
Stash Dive, perfect thing to look at your stash. If you can get 5 coordinating colors.
Or even just a few of them, you know, you could use something.
Absolutely. Like if you have 2, you can reduce the fade.
Remember when, I don't know what you have left, remember when Suburban came in and there were those great blushes and peaches and, remember that?
Yeah.
I don't know what you have left.
Use Demure.
Left. Nudie Patootie.
Demure. Right? You can do Predictability and Happy Accident. Stunning. You can use Nudie Patootie. I don't think I have Nudie Patootie. I have doily.
Right.
There's Evangeline.
Yep.
A bunch of colors. You'll have to go online to see them. But I was just, you know what, I was thinking of maybe doing a small one.
Yep. Could do that.
Like a 3 skeiner. Just do a small fade.
Yep. Why not?
Still get the design.
Yeah.
With the elongated shape.
Exactly.
Just have it hug the neck.
Yep.
I don't know. My hair's short, but the back of my neck is always cold.
The back of your neck is cold?
Always.
Oh, your hair's not short now.
It's still, well, you know what? It's an open back. I have the AC on in here.
I'm so hot right now. I'm dying.
Are you really?
Yes, I'm very hot. If I would take my hair and I would just like stick it up in a ponytail. So,
so you're home. Put it up.
I will.
All right. Well, I feel better now. I feel like we've shared everything. I feel like we've unloaded. I do have that one other project.
What's that?
The minted. The kits.
Oh, the minted. Yeah, you didn't talk about the minted.
Yeah. Do you want me to talk about
a couple of nice color combos there. Oh, there's nice color combos, Dina, with the Surrey.
All right.
And Road to China Light, the nice ones.
Yeah.
Oh, they were gorgeous.
So do you want to pull up the pattern again? Because I know I printed it. I bought the pattern. I just don't see it here right now.
Yep.
This here is Road to China Light, and I've got Alpakka Lin, and I think the color here, it's getting washed out.
Getting a little washed out.
That's much better.
Trust, yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's nice. That's a nice choice, Dina.
Getting washed out from the light. Then we have Road to China Light. So this was called Topaz.
Mm-hmm.
And the Alpakka Lin, I think, is a number.
This is the hat?
Yes. So it's a cabled hat. This year she does this challenge, Andrea Mowry. She does it over the 4-day week this weekend. She started it Thursday. Of course, there's no time limit. So if you decide to cast on today, that's fine. The only reason there's a challenge is if you want to enter into her drawing for one of 3 prizes, then you'd have to get cracking.
And it should be noted that she has a yarn pom-pom. So I'm sure that's her measurements of yarn requirements.
Right.
Okay, go ahead, Dina.
On my Instagram, I think I paired it with our faux and fur pom-poms, but of course you can use yarn. This here is Surrey from Wilmette Bear with
that's a great combo. Oh, I love that. I'm gonna have to get one, Dina. You know that's gonna happen. That's lovely.
It's a great colorway.
Very pretty.
And then look at this one.
This is a nice one. I know she's gonna show you.
You knew I was going to this one.
I know you go.
Stone, Surrey Alpakka from Wilmette Bear, hand dyed. Oh God,
that's pretty.
Lord, that is beautiful.
Woo! Love it.
That is just, and the yarn is so soft. I'm touching it. It's like.
Now I'm not a mohair person usually, but Surrey doesn't bother.
This is not mohair though.
It's
Surrey Alpakka, and I have to tell you, I feel like I'm squeezing Charmin.
I know.
Don't squeeze the Charmin.
You're so funny.
Okay.
Oh, that's great. Yeah.
Gorgeous.
That's gorgeous.
This is Asylum Fibers Surrey Silk, not Surrey Alpakka, and this is tinned from Wolf Oak. And last but not least, I thought I had another combo here.
There's so many combos.
I know it's endless, but you can check out Instagram. And I could make more if you had it. You know, someone came in yesterday for curbside. She wanted blue, and I created, just a dark blue one for her.
Right.
This one's pretty. It's gray with a hand-dyed Surrey Silk Cloud from Wilmette Bear.
Me too.
Paired with Road to China Light.
I'm just going to the patterns. She says in the pattern, a sport plus a lace equals a DK. So we were saying, why couldn't you just use a DK?
You can. DK with mohair. I think I featured that in my post. Does it say how much yardage? Because I'm just wondering.
It does. She does 385 to 400 yards, but here she gives you more down here. Hold on. Yarn requirements. Sport weight, she says 188 yards. And in the Surrey, she says 30 grams, 197 yards. And 15 grams for the pom-pom if you're doing the pom-pom. So but it doesn't look like a pom-pom is made out of the Surrey, but I guess it is.
Well, what I was going to say is, for example, this Road to China Light has 159 yards. So you may need right. You might need 2 if you're making the yarn pom-pom. 1 would definitely make the hat though. I would imagine.
Yeah,
I
it's
have
hard to say because what she says in the yarn requirements, she puts the pom-pom in the Surrey alpaca amount. She doesn't say she used the sport weight. So when she says 188 yards, was the pom-pom in there or not? That's the thing you don't know.
just a Surrey pom-pom. I mean, Surrey usually comes in with a lot of yardage. For example, this is 300 meters.
Right.
You have plenty of yarn. Wow, this is a pom-pom.
You could also actually look on, well, people are knitting it now, so you could also look at what people are doing. I'm sure they'll write some notes if you waited a little bit. But like, for instance, this is what we were saying earlier I could use. This would be this is fingering instead of sport. And this is
Very pretty.
The alpaca len.
Right, which is a little bit thicker than a Surrey or a lace weight mohair.
I should, but the first thing I have to do is weigh it and see if it's enough.
Right.
Because I don't remember now, although I do.
I love my t-shirt.
You like your t-shirt?
I do. I love it, love it, love it.
There you go.
I have to make another one. And I knitted.
We didn't talk about something, Dina. We didn't talk about Anchor.
Oh, I'm so disappointed.
Well, don't be disappointed.
That'll be next week's news.
Don't be. We have a, I think, did we mention it last week?
Maybe. I don't know.
There's a guided knitting group that meets usually every 2 weeks. And we did a Zoom call once, right? You were on the Zoom call, Dina. And one of the people said, why don't we do a cast on while we're stuck at home? So we had a couple of sweaters under consideration. And the one that we chose was the Anchor Summer shirt from Petite Knits.
Yes.
And I have that in my patterns, actually. So let me just bring up a picture. And we're using the exact yarn that she uses in the pattern, right, Dina?
Yes.
It's called.
It arrives here.
Where is my pattern? I don't know where it is.
Something got very broken in communications. We were supposed to get the delivery this week, and unfortunately, there was a miscommunication. I was told it was going to go out, and then it didn't, and hopefully it'll arrive on Monday.
Right.
I will be good with art.
This is the Anchor Summer shirt from Petite.
Very cute. Super cute. It's got a nice detail in the yoke.
And what yarn is it?
Pardon?
What yarn is it?
It's Sandness Garn.
Lin, yep.
Linny.
It's a linen cotton rayon blend.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just a fun top down short sleeve sweater. Yep.
Another great summer top.
Yep. So we're looking.
Stay tuned if you'd like to join us. I know we mentioned it.
Well, we're hoping that the yarn is in the shop on Monday. We're hoping. And so I messaged everybody that was involved. So if anybody feels like hopping on we were hoping to start on Monday. Clearly that's not going to happen, but Wednesday maybe.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to have to push it off because like when I sent out the email, I was hoping that the yarn would arrive, that I could ship it to people. I mean, you can always sign up on our newsletter. You can head over to the website to sign up or email me at theknittingplace@gmail.com, and I would be happy to get you the
yarn.
The yarn, yeah.
So when the yarn comes in, Dina will be you'll put it up on the website, right? So they can see the choices.
Definitely. So you can always check the website, theknittingplaceny.com. You can look up Sandness Garn, is it one N? L-I-N-E,
yeah.
Line or Linny is the name of the fiber. So as soon as that gets in, I will enter it, and you'll.
What did you buy? Like 12 colors?
The problem is it's coming from overseas, and with the pandemic, I mean, deliveries are just very slow. So we're not, I know the company wasn't getting all the colors, or she had back orders to fill. There was a whole, I don't know which colors are coming in. She said, email me the packing list, but now the packing list is in the box. I didn't get that.
So, but you ordered at least 12.
I think I ordered all the colors, believe it or not.
Wow.
Yes.
So if you're interested in a fast, quick knit, join us.
Yes.
Right, Dina?
Yes.
Anchor's Summer shirt.
Yes. You can buy the pattern in advance just to look at it, review it. I don't think there was anything too hard. Were there short rows in that? I don't think there were short rows. So that's another one. This one had no short rows as well. So if short rows scare you, there are no short rows. Speaking of short rows, I just got past the part in Olive Knits I'm always amazed at how many different types of short
Did
rows
she do
there are.
Japanese? You said Japanese. Did she do Japanese?
Japanese, she did
She did.
Japanese.
So
Now,
how do you do Japanese?
so I've seen it before, but I've actually never done it. With the Japanese, you mark the stitch with like a removable marker. You get to the turning point, and what they want you to do is clip the yarn. So you open the safety pin or your locking stitch marker, and you put it around the yarn. You slip the stitch that you just worked, and you continue the other way. Okay, so the last stitch worked, you slipped, and then you continue the other way. When you go back, you're supposed to take the safety pin or whatever, the hook, the locking stitch marker,
Right.
you pick up the yarn that it's hugging, and you
Yeah.
put it on the needle, and then you knit the 2 stitches together.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
You knit them together through the back?
No, through the front. Let me see if I could show it to you, actually. It's actually very smooth.
How does it look?
I think it looks great. Like, this is the back. Do you see my short rows?
No.
This here is the front. It's much shorter.
Yep.
So you could see the scoop in the back. I don't think you could really.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I really can't see it. Nope.
Which is nice.
Well, that's the whole thing. I always think you can see the wrap and turns.
Those are my least favorite.
Yeah, I don't care for them. I'd like to do the German or maybe the Japanese now. I don't know.
It was fun doing something different. I like it.
When I start that.
Yes, watch the video. She puts a link in the pattern, which is great and very useful.
Yep. So that's what's going on.
So let me make sure. Are we still recording? We are actually recording the first go around. That's great.
Well, I've got the clock on my end, but last time that didn't. Oh, yeah. So now it says recording on the other side. I guess.
Oh, you see it?
It says
Well,
recording.
how long? Okay. Are we
an
good?
hour and 16. Can you believe you're talking for an hour and 16 minutes?
I can't.
Oh, a bunch of hot air we are.
But I will have to say it's past, it's already 12 noon. It's Saturday. I don't know if we told you the date. It's May 30th. Thank you for joining us. But I have to get to work. I opened a half hour ago.
And I have to wind you on.
Yes. So thank you for tuning in. It's been lovely and a beautiful distraction getting away from everything, being with all of you. Once again, please follow us on Instagram, Pam Sapp, The Knitting Place, Facebook. Definitely subscribe if you enjoy watching us. We try to keep you in stitches and keep you inspired. And
more ways than one, right, Dina?
Yes. Hopefully you guys have good things on your needles. And if you feel like leaving a comment, leave a comment. Stay connected.
Spend your weekend crafting if you can.
Yes. I'm very lucky. Whose podcast was I just watching? I was watching the Knitting Posse. I think it was Kim.
Yeah.
Kim had mentioned that she was really stressed out.
Yeah.
And she said, she said that she couldn't knit. And not too many, most people turn to knitting or crafting as like a de-stress. Yeah. But I'm in Kim's camp. I can't knit when I'm really stressed out.
Is that right?
It's the oddest thing. If I'm angry, upset, disturbed, I just can't knit. I can't pick up my needles. I can't crochet.
Do you think it makes a difference what's on your needles?
No. It just does. No. I'm in a good place if I'm producing. Let's put it that way.
Well, Dina and I were talking.
I'm in a good place.
We were talking yesterday. We look at the way, you see the way people finish objects and how quickly they knit things. And I said, I'm not that fast a knitter. I don't really think I'm that I mean, listen, I'm faster than, obviously a beginner, but I just see how they whip things out. And I'm just like, how did I do it so quickly?
I feel like I whipped 2 things out quickly. This top and the unwind shawl. My painting brick shawl, I did not whip out, whip up.
But now that was because you had to be more, what was it? Because it was slower moving? You had to be more mindful? Why?
Well, absolutely. So I was saying how there's certain projects, once you get past the raglan and the raglan shaping, I would presume, I guess you could say, although the raglan after a while, if you just follow the increases, you kind of know what to do. Maybe the V-neck will throw you off, but there's certain knits like once you're in the round and it's all knit, I can do that in company. So if my kids are around, or if in the den and we're hanging out and watching a TV show, I can certainly pick up my knitting. That's,
Right.
I breeze right through it while something else is going on. There's certain knitting that if I need to concentrate, I can't, like, I've only limited hours when I'm truly by myself.
Right. That's true.
I feel like I'm antisocial in my household with my kids if I'm knitting and I can't concentrate on what's going on. And as a matter of fact, they don't like it.
Right.
As it is, they find it, like, sometimes they find it rude that I'm like knitting, like I'm not paying attention. My husband will be like, eye contact, I'm talking to you.
I can't
I'm
believe
listening.
you've been knitting for how long now? And they say that.
He still does that. All of them.
That they don't know. I
It's
mean,
the funniest thing.
I can concentrate better when I'm knitting.
Well, so now he's on a new thing. I may have mentioned it, I'm not sure, with the poker, online poker.
Mm-hmm.
So now he'll have his iPad out and he's playing poker online. And I'm like, hey, eye contact, I'm talking to you. Right back at him. And the kids too, they give me grief sometimes. It's so frustrating. But when they're texting or they're doing, if they're in their Snapchat mode, you can't interfere.
I think the big thing that people don't realize is that when you are knitting, you can be listening.
Yes, but it's a different kind. I mean, listen, so if I'm concentrating on a very
depends what you're knitting
pattern, I'm focused on my knitting.
But
really, I can't pick my head up and say, make eye contact.
But as an experienced knitter, if you're in a social setting and you're knitting with people, you're not going to be picking something that's so distracting that you can't engage, because, chances are you're going to make a mistake, right? And then you can't converse with people. So you pick up, it would be a project that doesn't require that much, like you'd be in the round or something, when you're in conversation with people.
Yeah, it's much easier when it's just easy knitting. Like, I can't wait for my Millie to get to the point where I'm past my raglan, where I could just like
knit.
Yeah. Exactly.
Anyway. Well, listen, whatever kind of knitting you're doing this weekend, whether it's mindless knitting or intricate knitting, enjoy it.
Be at peace with it. Exactly.
Exactly.
All right, everyone. Thank you. Don't forget to hit subscribe on YouTube. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Stop recording.